Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. Buckle up, aviation enthusiasts and mystery lovers. Today, we're diving into the world's most baffling aviation mysteries. From planes vanishing without a trace to unsolved cockpit confessions, these stories have left experts and the public scratching their heads for decades. Get ready for jaw-dropping tales, eerie coincidences, and unanswered questions that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Let's take flight into the unknown. Number 1. Santiago Flight 513. People who believe in the supernatural have been telling the story of what is said to have happened to a missing plane from 1995, which landed after 37 years with ghosts. The story gets even more interesting when it is said that the missing flight reappeared on October 12, 1989, circling the airport of Porto Alegre, Brazil, and landing with all passengers on board. The people in charge said that the control tower couldn't talk to the missing plane, which had flown around the airport and then landed. When airport staff and security opened the plane's doors to check in, they were shocked to find people sitting in their seats, including all 88 passengers and 4 crew members. The strangest thing was seeing the pilot, Captain Miguel Victor Curry, sitting in the same place he was before, still holding the controls. The plane was still running, which they also noticed. But strangely, officials wouldn't say anything about how Flight 513 turned up again. They hadn't figured out where the plane was for 35 years, but Bruce Jernan says he could do the impossible in real life. Jernan is the only person who lived through the incident and discovered what happened there. Although he told his story, the events remain unclear. Number 2. Saddam Hussein buried Iraq's Air Force in the desert. After the US invaded Iraq in 2003 to look for chemical, biological, or nuclear weapons, American troops found things that were strange beyond basic analysis, like guns and toilets made of gold, and Saddam's love story in particular. They found planes buried in the sand next to an airfield in surprisingly good shape, despite being buried in the sun for who knows how long. It's unclear why Saddam would deliberately bury his grounded aircraft if he wasn't trying to hide the fact that they were inoperable. The Iraqi Air Force's poor performance in defending Iraqi airspace is where the story begins. They were ready to battle the US-led invasion of Iraq, but Saddam Hussein wouldn't let the Iraqi pilots fight. The United States was operating the F-22, and Saddam realized what technological advances the US could use against his fighters. By hiding the planes in the sand, Saddam hoped to keep them from being destroyed. He believed that once everything settled down, he could unearth them and utilize their cutting-edge technology to intimidate his FOs and neighbors. Sorry, Saddam, you will never get the chance. But you must click on the subscribe button right now, as that must happen. Number 3. The tragic crash of Flight F447 in 2009. When Air France 447, or a F447, crashed, the aviation industry began to worry more about loss of control events and whether they might be caused by increased automation in the cockpit. A pilot usually loses control when they don't notice and fix a potentially dangerous situation, which makes the plane unstable. After analyzing expert data from the crash, including cockpit and flight data recorders, it was found that a F447 and commercial aviation in general show how automation can lead to unexpected catastrophic events. While unlikely, it can happen in extreme situations. The F447 had been flying over the Atlantic at night for 3.5 hours when the speed sensors on the Airbus A330 iced up quickly, making the airspeed readings fluctuate. The flight controller was programmed to turn off the autopilot and remove flight envelope protection when bad data was received. Many evaluations show that without the pilot's intervention, the flight would have become stuck in the air. The pilots had to manually control the aircraft, but they probably didn't understand how to fly it manually, and ultimately, they made the right decision the wrong way. The plane came down quickly, like a stone thrown from the sky. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Aer Lingus Flight 712. At 10:32 a.m., Aer Lingus Flight 712 departed Cork Airport for London. The flight was going smoothly until a distress call was heard, claiming that the plane had dropped 12,000 feet while spinning rapidly. The plane was never reached again, and London ATC notified Shannon ATC as they had lost contact with the aircraft. Aer Lingus Flight EI362 from Dublin to Bristol was asked by London ATC to conduct a search west of Strumble at an altitude of 5,181.6 meters. The Vickers Viscount, which had flown from Cork to London Heathrow, reported losing 1,524 meters of altitude and falling quickly while spinning.
The plane later landed in the Irish Sea, near Tusker Rock, 11,265.4 meters southeast of the Irish coast. Some witnesses claimed they saw a second plane that may have collided with it, which had the markings of a British drone used to test missiles. The lack of a black box from the plane might hold the key to solving this mystery. Was it a naval ship that...
Number 5. 1956 B-47 Disappearance. After taking off from the 306th 369th Bomb Squadron's Boeing B-47 Stratojet, codenamed Inkspot 59, it departed MacDill Air Force Base in Florida for a non-stop journey to Ben Guerir Air Base in Morocco. The flight successfully completed the first of 2 scheduled aerial refuelings, but the B-47E lost contact with the KC-97 tanker aircraft when it descended into dense cloud cover, approximately 144,841 meters southwest of Oran, to commence the second refueling at 4,300 meters. The unarmed aircraft was hauling 2 capsules of nuclear weapons material in carrying cases, but there was no nuclear explosion. A French news source reported that the jet had detonated in the air southeast of Sadia, in French Morocco, in roughly the same location as the plane's last recorded position. However, after a thorough search, no sign of the device was ever found, and its last known whereabouts remain unknown. Number 6. The Stardust Mystery. The Stardust was a British South American Airways BISA Avro Lancastrian airliner that collided with Mount Topangado in the Argentine Andes on August 2, 1947, while en route from Buenos Aires, Argentina to Santiago, Chile. The victims were all aboard the trip, but despite an extensive search around the crash site, no wreckage was found, even though it had been over 50 years since the disappearance. Many hypotheses still persist as to what happened. It's now believed that the crew may have become confused about their precise location when flying through the jet stream at high altitudes, a phenomenon poorly understood at the time. As they began their descent, the crew erroneously believed they had already passed the mountaintops, but instead, the Stardust collided with Mount Topangado. Stendik was the last word transmitted in Morse code by the plane just 4 minutes before it was due to land. The airport control tower received and repeated the message, but no satisfactory explanation for the incident has ever been accepted. Number 7. Varig Flight 967. Varig Flight 967, an international freight flight, made a stop at Los Angeles International Airport on its route from Narita Airport in Japan to Rio de Janeiro Galeão Airport in Brazil on January 30, 1979. The flight's Boeing 707-323C vanished mid-flight, and neither the plane nor its 6 crew members were ever found. The plane, with the serial number 19,235, had been delivered to American Airlines in 1966 before being sold to Varig in 1974. On January 30, 1979, the flight took off from Narita International Airport at 8:23 p.m. and made its last radio communication at 9:23 p.m. However, nearly 200 kilometers east-northeast of Tokyo, radio contact was lost. The plane was carrying a shipment of 53 Manabu Mappy paintings worth $1.24 million, but neither the wreckage nor the artworks were ever recovered, and the fate of the flight remains a mystery. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.